It worked, and it's a big part of why we're able to build the lab today, but it was a gamble. And so, I think that injecting some responsibility into what we do wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, but I
don't know about that in that specific regard. With that specific example that you just gave. I don't know.
We had no data, literally zero data. I'll admit that to you in front of all of you.
Yeah.
To support a 100,000 unit order. None. Do you know where we got the number?
It just sounded cool to you, I'm assuming?
No.
We've done that. You can't give me that face. That has happened. You can't do that.
That face means you're right.
Okay.
That is 100%
I'm
happened.
not saying it's much better. I'm just saying it's better than that.
Okay.
The reason, is that we found out what the molding costs were going to be to create the molds, and I had in my head a $69.99 price point. Nice. And that was the number we needed to order.
Hit it, you had to order that much volume? Oh my.
Price point.
That's amazing.
I approve of that.
I didn't say it was much better.
Oh, no, that's sweet.
That's so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, like stuff like that is just cool though. And in my opinion, decisions like that, even if you just said it on WAN Show, so now it's public information. But even if that's not public information,
Yeah.
maybe it's reckless, whatever, but it's kind of fun.
It's fun to maybe, blow millions of dollars on a failed venture. Sure.
It is though. To a certain degree.
For you.
You got to send it.
Yeah.
If you stop
leave it all in the field.
just sending it, then what are you really doing?
Dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So some of that would have to survive this. Maybe not all of it, Maybe we could get a little bit more tempered. But you can't just abandon that type of mentality completely.
I mean, the lab is another send it moment.
Yeah.
I'm over there you know what Gary... Freaking Gary. Okay, you know what Gary's requisitioning now? I'm going to tell you guys, because, I don't know what any of this stuff is. Okay, Gary.
You tell how he says his name, that means he's spending a lot of money. That's how he says people's names when they're spending a lot of money. I'm very used to hearing Brandon, because Brandon was buying, expensive lights or
Too
whatever
soon.
else. Yeah.
What is a CR300RH? Reference spectroradiometer. Okay, well, whatever it is, it costs 20 grand.
Nice.
It's pretty cheap for a science tool, actually.
Well, pretty cheap for a science tool. Mr. 10 grand worth of soldering bullshit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the CPUs I put in today is another 10 grand, so.
What?
For the
Okay,
computer.
right. So that's another thing. This freaking guy, do you know what he built for the WAN? Okay, the way that people spec things and the way that they, spend money is very different when it is just, I don't know, it's corporate money. We can just write it off.
No. Let me defend myself here.
Do you know what he put in the WAN Show PC?
That's all we had.
No, it is not. No, you can defend yourself when I'm done attacking you.
Okay. I'm into this.
Do you know what he put in the WAN Show PC?
I heard ECC memory.
Okay. Do you remember 7 gamers, 1 CPU?
Yeah.
He put a dual socket workstation motherboard, albeit an older one, but a dual socket workstation motherboard and a Quadro for f***ing Twitch streaming.
Why a Quadro?
Dual 4 terabyte enterprise grade NVMe drives.
We do run the show pretty long sometimes, but
We don't need 4 terabytes. Go ahead. Make my day.
So, currently we have a 2080 Super in this computer.
Yeah.
The A4000 we get for a lot less than a 2080 Super's worth. I need the video memory. This stream at the moment is about 50 individual sources long, and we're using, about 8 to 16 gigs of video memory just to kind of keep it going. It's also a workstation grade card. I wanted to find a CPU that was going to do what I wanted and have the ECC and be really stable. Unfortunately, all we kind of had was these Xenon Golds, which I think are about $4,000 each, and then the only real Xenon motherboard that we had with IPMI like good features was the dual socket one. Considering Threadripper Pro to test with, but I mean those are spares that we have for the ingest stations. So it's a very expensive fun test, and it means I don't have to buy anything or request anything. We can test it out, see what kind of features we need, if it's going to work, and then tear it back down and put it back in the inventory.
For a test, it seems fair enough.
Yeah.
You know how many times
Unless
I've heard
it
it's for a test?
Creeps into production.
Well, it will.
yeah.
It will. It always does. Okay, the ingest stations are a perfect example. Did you know that they put $1,000 motherboards in our media ingest computers?
Yeah, we have another Threadripper Pro and another one of those motherboards sitting on the shelf as backups. So really it's 3 ingest stations worth of motherboards and CPUs.
At a certain point, it will be cost effective to assign someone to just downgrading systems and flipping the parts.
Yes, that's it.
Wow.
That
That's
is-
a colossal waste of time.
That is actually a job title that actually will exist. Flipper of shit.
Oh, yeah, but it shouldn't.
Not what you said. though.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Cool. Do we move on topics? Do we keep talking about this?
No, we can move on. Z Beowulf says, I'd rather Linus leave creative and focus on being CEO than the other way around. You have
What?
no idea what I do here,
That's a-
obviously.
It's a bad take.
That is actually the worst possible plan.
Yeah.
I am the worst at CEO administrative bullshit and definitely better at creative.
Yes.
All right, let's go. Let's go ahead. You know what? Hey, if we're going to talk about workstation grade hardware, why don't we talk about Intel's entry, or I should say re-entry, to the workstation market? It's not that you couldn't buy a workstation chip from Intel, you just couldn't buy a sensible one until now. They've launched their 4th generation Xeon W 3400 and 2400 series processors, codenamed Sapphire Rapids, and these are looking a lot more exciting than what hold on. Have they launched the server chips yet?
While you look for that, someone actually said a really interesting video idea. Shattered Sky said, we need a video about the total amount spent on parts for PCs used for random things in the office. Someone going around and just totaling the IT spend, assuming you had to buy everything new in the office, would actually just be wild.
Yeah. I don't think it's a video we could do though. I've noticed there's just a lot of anytime I talk about money,
People get upset.
we had a short circuit video a little while ago where I forget what it was. It was like a game console or like something. It was like hundreds of dollars, and I was like, that's a lot of money. And the comments are full of people being like, not for you, tech CEO, media elite, whatever. And I'm kind of sitting
yes.
there going, okay. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you'll go, okay, this is like a used motherboard CPU RAM combo for $75. That's not a lot of money. And people will go, oh, I'm actually for that's a lot of money for a lot of people. So it's like, okay. So if there's basically no